It is Saturday, February 26th. End of Dragon comes out 2 days from the time that I'm recording this, and they just released a news post that I think is actually worth going over. Because if you all read this from the wrong source, you will probably hear that this is the end of I don't know, a dynasty. The sky is falling, all that stuff. Basically, if you hear this on Reddit, you'll probably think that the game is dying or something. So, let me go over what this says, and then what I know about what this means, and we'll take it from there. Fire Attunement posted 19 minutes ago, from the time I opened this tab, it's been like an hour at this point. Hey folks, when Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons launches next week, there will be a change to Magic Find in the update notes, and we wanted to give you some context of why we made the change and explain the overall impact. Currently, with the exception of AP bonuses and time or location specific bonuses, the max Magic Find percentage you can obtain is 735%. With the launch of EOD, the cap for max Magic Find will be set at 750%. Okay, let's pause there for a second. Okay, I could read this whole thing, come back to it, but I want to touch on this. I want to make sure everybody understands what I just said. So, if I go to achievements and go down here, and I can look at my luck. Now, you know there's the luck that you get in the game that like this, and you can, right-click it and consume it. That gets added to, right there's a thing that says From Luck 300. That takes years to fill up. I just recently hit 300. So when that gets to 300, that's the most you get from eating luck. If I were to eat more luck, it won't add any more to that. The 13 is from achievements, so I've got 313 all the time. I can get more Magic Find from boosters, guild hall buffs, there's a food buff, I've got a video on this, there's lots of different ways to stack it. Now, what this said was that the cap is 735 with the exception of time and location bonuses. Now, what I think they mean by that, it's phrased a little tricky. Things like the Silver Waste. You can get, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, I think it's another 200 Magic Find for a short time just from running Silver Waste. A successful Silver Waste meta will give you like 150 or 200 Magic Find on as like a buff on top of what you already have. So I think this is saying it's 735, but then the buff from like the zones and location bonuses would be added on top of that. I think that's what they mean. With the launch of End of Dragons, the cap for Magic Find will be set at 750. Now, this sentence has like some finality to it. I think so. What it was before it's 735. Sorry. Someone in chat says, "What is AP bonuses?" I think that's achievement point bonuses. Like I've got 13. Like if I switch back to my game view, I have from achievements 13 Magic Find. So that means that I could have 735 and then add my achievements of 13 onto it and then add 100 to 200 from Silver Waste. Again, forgive me, I can't remember the exact number, but you understand the point. You can add all that. That's how it is right now. In total, you could get to 900 to near 1,000 Magic Find now if you really worked the system, okay? They're changing that to just cap out at 750. All right, so that's what they're doing. Let's continue. The primary reason for the adjustment is that when Magic Find goes over 900%, it causes errors in the reward system. Our loot tables were not built to let it go that high, and as the game ages, making changes to accommodate that becomes less and less feasible. So this is something that we as players would have never known if they had never told us. Apparently going over 900% Magic Find just breaks the system. I don't know if that breaks it in our favor, if our Magic Find just suddenly skyrockets over 900, or if it gets worse after 900, I don't know. I remember, I'm reminded of in the Pokemon Red and Blue, if you got your chance to crit too high and you went over 100%, it wrapped back around and you were back at 1%. So I don't know how, when they say that this was not built for this could be better for us or worse for us. I don't know what it was doing. I would need more information to make that judgment call. This change allows us to be able to grant Magic Find more generously from new sources, and even introduce some more containers which can be affected by Magic Find. Now, I've got other videos on this, but again, just going to quickly touch on this so that people know what we're talking about. Look at these are containers from Heart of Thorns. If you look at these containers in gray text on the third line down, it says affected by magic find on all of these. What I like to do is save up tons of them, then use a magic find booster and open them all at one time to save boosters. So that's what they're talking about. Now, right now, not like in the scale of the whole game, not many containers are affected by magic find. It's a very small minority of them are. And so they're saying that by toning this down, they can stop worrying about it and they can add more going forward. And to continue, we can introduce more containers which can be affected by magic find, which we previously avoided due to the concerns outlined. Okay? Now, as always, assuming that everything that they said was fact, it sounds like a good thing that they're doing. Now, what might you hear from other players that paint this in a negative light? There happens to be one player in our community that we call the Bauble Baron, and he is already screaming that the sky is falling, and I had to talk with him trying to find out why. This guy's got like millions of gold for the sake of just buying more gold. That's all he does with it. He uses his gold to buy gold. Now, apparently, from talking to him, the main points that he brought up was like the Lunar New Year farm, where you stack magic find to like 1,000% to open up the Lunar New Year's envelopes, and the Halloween farm, where you stack magic find to then run around in the labyrinth and avoid Steve and farm the Halloween stuff in there. Those two, in this person's opinion, and the reason I'm bringing up this person's opinion is I trust them in matters of making gold for the sake of making gold. Nothing else. Those two farms might die. And his reasoning for that statement supposedly was that the Lunar New Year, if you can't go over 1,000% magic find, it's not worth opening the envelopes. Now, I would need more math nerds to help back that up. However, the main thing with Lunar New Year is you can buy the red envelopes with luck. And if you are a really, really, really long-term player, luck, you can't eat any more of this. I mean, you can, but it doesn't do anything. So literally one of the only things you can do with it is just save it for Lunar New Year and then cash it out. You essentially, Lunar New Year allows you to turn saved up luck into gold. So I don't think that will completely die because it is still a way to do something with luck you've saved up for the last year if you're a player who's capped on luck. Now, might this reduce how many people are buying the envelopes with the other means? Maybe. If people do the math and they determine that, oh, if I can't get my magic find over 921.75%, it's not worth doing. Okay, fine. That, you know what, those guys will go farm Silver Waste or something else. They'll find something else to do. It's not the end of the game. It just might change which farms are the best farms. Halloween, same thing. I do not know mathematically. Let me back up for a second. The Halloween farm, the main point is to make gold. You either get the trick-or-treat bags and you sell them, or you get the trick-or-treat bags and you open them and you hope for a big item and sell the contents, which then the magic find becomes, even more important. Now, the thing with the Halloween farm is during the time that the Halloween farm is available, usually the Dragonfall farm and the Silver Race farm are just dead quiet. And that's the reason is the people that just care about gold per hour, some people would just do it for fun, but the people that just care about gold per hour, they're just going to move to whichever place has the most gold per hour. So let's say, hypothetically, all the math nerds come together, and with the power of numbers, they determine the Halloween farm is bad now. You know what would happen? Those people would be like, you're killing the game, you're taking food right from our child's mouths, as they stomp over to Dragonfall. They would just go to the other zone. That, as far as I can see, that's all that would happen. It wouldn't be a huge deal. So yeah, it could potentially change things up and shift which zones are the best for doing this stuff, and could potentially make some of the holiday farms not really worth doing anymore. But it's not a big thing. If this helps them with the systems in the future, I think that's fine. I just wanted to make this this video to basically explain what's happening and what I hope was a way that will keep anybody from hearing it from a source that makes them think that they need to panic. Because for the average player, this means nothing. It's just for the players that would stack up 1,000% magic find for opening bags or, silver waste or Lunar New Year, that kind of stuff, those people might be slightly changing what they're doing. That's it. That's the change. Hope we have avoided anybody thinking that the building is burning down. Now, that said, if you happen to be mathier than I and you can think of any consequences of this change that I have not considered, please, I encourage and welcome you to put it in the comments down below. Let's just lay it out there for people to look at and see if you thought of something that I did not. I welcome it. That's totally fine. All right. See y'all next time.